Hi, this is God Shammgod.
And I'm Jose.
And this is Talk to God. This is God Shammgod. I'm here with my brother Danny Green and Jose, and we're now on Talks to God. I'm glad to have you here, brother.
Appreciate it.
Be a
man.
champion, man. Congratulations,
Glad to
man.
be here, man. I appreciate you having me, man. Much
Definitely
love.
congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, for the young kids that don't really know you, you know, they see you, winning championship. If you just, just tell them about your beginnings and things like that.
I started out, I was an average kid. I never got the limelight until later on. Even then, I didn't get a lot of attention or was projected to be anything special. So I had to work, from the beginning, even Long Island, New York, having to make a name for myself throughout the boroughs, throughout different parts of the city. Even in high school, trying to get recruited, going to ABCD camp, not getting highly recruited till my senior year. In college, not starting till my senior year. Second round draft pick, having to make the team, having to break a rotation. I guess people look at me as the normal average person. That's why it's inspiring, because they feel like they can be me. They really can, though, because it was nothing special. I mean, I had some height. I guess I was a little more coordinated. I wasn't athletic. I didn't have anything special in that aspect. I just really worked hard on my game, learned how to shoot, played defense, studied the game. And that's a lot of things I teach my kids in camps. Whatever it is you want to be, you can be it, or you can be close to it. You still be successful at it. You just put the hours in. And guys got to put. You want to be great at something, put your 10,000 hours in, and even then some. So, I'm just a normal guy living the dream that a lot of normal people think they can live.
So you being from New York, New York is built on ball handlers, creators, stuff like that. And you went totally the opposite way. What made you go the opposite way?
And when I was in New York, I used to handle a little bit, not as much. I mean, not like everybody else. I did watch the N1 mixtapes. I did know all the moves. But as you get older, my dad was a shooter, and I always learned how to shoot and got it from him. But as you get older, they try to specify what you're good at. And your role is. When you got to college level, they never let me handle the ball that much. It was like, all right. So once you get in that role, it's like you got to find your best ways to be effective. And when you're not getting the ball, you're not a first, second option. I was, fourth, fifth option most of the time at best in college. You just got to make the shots that you do get. It's not like they're feeding you in the post or they're telling you to come off pick and rolls or they're running plays for you.
Yeah.
So basically, you just got to run and make the best of it. And when that happens, you got to be able to shoot, because you're not getting many things. So same thing in San Antonio, like they're gonna run plays for me.
Yeah.
You react to when they make the main stars make plays, and then if you're open, you knock it down. So, in order to get the playing time, I had to be great at a specific thing, whatever fit that team. And the last teams that I played for is, I wasn't put in to be a playmaker. I was put in to just shoot. And then once I got to the league, just focus on that and focus on getting my percentages up, be more consistent with it. And I have to give a lot of credit to my developmental coaches. Chad Forcier, Will Hardy, those guys worked on me a ton with being consistent and making me more of an elite shooter than just an average shooter.
So when you was coming up and stuff like that, like you said you was consider yourself the average player and things like that. But how does the average player go to North Carolina? You know what I'm saying? Because that's for all Americans and things like that.
Yeah, I said I had some height, but at the same time I worked on everything. So I was good at everything. So I went to ABCD camp. They didn't see me as like a playmaker or ball handler or shot blocker or rebounder. I could do all those things, and I showed I could do all those things because I worked out a lot. I was just a hustle guy, and they liked that about me. Obviously, they knew I was talented. I could shoot. In high school, you're bigger than everybody at 6'6". You could play all 5 positions. So it's just working really hard at everything. But at some point, you got to figure out what it is you want your identity to be, and you have to be specific in what part of it you want to be excellent at. And I was trying to be great at everying. That's what everybody wants. You want to be a ball handler, you want to be Mike, you want to be Iverson, you want to be everybody. And teams not bringing you into that, especially if you're not a superstar talent in that aspect. I wasn't because I wasn't tall, wasn't had big hands or long arms or jump 45 inches in the air. When you're not that special, they look at you as, okay, you could be a great role player. They could always feel like they can teach those athletic guys, how to be a basketball player and scale back and make him a superstar. But guys that aren't athletic, it's hard to make those guys superstars. So I had to adapt and adjust and just work at everything. And that's how I got recruited. Just hustled, rebounded, went to ABCD camp, was efficient. I scored well, shot it well, didn't take bad shots. I passed it okay.
Yeah.
And like I was making plays, but I rebounded, I blocked shots, and played defense. And you do all those aspects, it makes you look like a pretty well-rounded player.
When I walked in here, I said Riverside. I saw you there.
I haven't heard
smiled
that
just like that.
Yeah, I haven't heard it in a while, man.
How did that help you? It was a lot of stars you played with.
Yeah.
Name some stars you played with at Riverside.
I played a lot of guys. I mean, people they wouldn't know now because it's so long ago.
Who stands out that you remember in your mind like, wow,
Like-
I wonder what he's doing now?
I mean, one of the big names, Derek Hector, he played in LA. I feel like.
With the Louisville.
Yes.
And he played with us in Panthers. He played with me when I was younger in Riverside. All those teams. But growing up playing for city teams, playing against the best, the best, New York was the mecca back then.
Yeah.
And you had to. There was no, easing your way into some. You got to come in full because they're coming at you and they're trying to take everything you got off your plate.
You think that helped you?
For
especially
sure.
playing for the Spurs?
For sure.
That tough coach you got over there?
Yeah, mentally. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. And I think who prepared me the most for that mentally was my high school coach.
Okay.
Coach Tim Cluse. He coaches Iona now.
Yep.
He might be looking for another place. I don't know, but he's been great there. And he was a perfectionist. And he had us practice for hours, man. Sometimes hours, go eat lunch, come back another 2 hours till we finish a drill. And you have to be mentally tough enough to both finish his drills or play for him in order to make it to the next level.
Yeah.
So playing for him helped me prepare for Coach Williams. And both those guys helped me prepare for Pop.
Okay.
And be able to take that criticism and that type of punishment physically, mentally, verbally in high school, it's easy to do in college. It was cakewalk in college. And Pop, I wouldn't say it was a cakewalk, but I was prepared for it.
When is the point in your career where you like, all right, I'm gonna take this seriously and I'm gonna try to make it to the NBA? Like whether it's high school, college. Whatever.
It was high school because I was playing both sports, football and basketball, in ninth grade, and I wanted to play both, continue out my whole career. But I was like, my dad was like, you got to choose at some point. And like, if you want to make it, a job, or if you want to take it seriously, make it to the next level. And I was like, and he kind of pushed me toward basketball because he's like, football. Like, I don't know about football, man. You get a lot of injuries. Not good for the brain as much. Short, light, and basketball is indoors. Probably make the contracts maybe a little better. So I was like, all right, man. And I made my decision to go to basketball route. And then from there, I transferred to schools. Didn't have a football team. I took it serious, and every summer. And just focus on one sport. Before that, I was on many different sports. It was track and field, football, even soccer, just different stuff to make me, more athletic. Because I had to work on my athleticism. It wasn't given to me. But once I focused in on basketball, after my sophomore, junior year, I was going to ABCD camp. That's when I took it real serious. And then each year, each time or each level, it changes. You have to start all over from the bottom to the top. Once I got the top guy in college or high school. When I was senior year, they're like, one of the top guys you could go to draft. That was last year. You could enter draft from high school. Yeah. But I would probably want to draft it or maybe second round. So it made no sense for me to go back to college. And it's like, all right, now you're at the bottom toe. You might not get. I wasn't playing that much. Sophomore year, played less. And junior year, it's like, all right, I see the light. Maybe I could make it to NBA again.
Okay.
And then senior year, I started finally, and it's like, I could probably make a living out of this, whether even playing NBA or overseas.
Yep.
You start seeing it kind of recycles each time.
So then when every kid is like want to be the first, first round, top 10, whatever names called and stuff like that. When things don't go that way, how did you persevere to become Danny Green that everybody know and love now?
And not give up also. Because you took a whole nother route. You understand what I'm saying? When you knew you made it, when you got that first 2-3 year contract, how did you feel?
I still felt like I didn't make it.
Wow.
And that's what kind of kept me going, but a lot of early life experiences helped me prepare for that. Like you said, of just not being picked early. I used those, and I guess due to some of the things I went through in college and high school, helped. I use those as motivational tools. So when me drafted late in the second round and teams passed, I use it as a motivational tool to prove teams wrong or prove that I'm better than other guys that were drafted ahead of me. And even when a lot of guys, even after draft, most of them were not happy. You're number one. Exactly. But even after I got a 2-year, 3-year contract, I felt like it should have been more. I feel like I still wasn't. I feel like I wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. I'm still taking. I'm like, if I'm trying to do this or try to live comfortably forever, I got to do more. I got to do better. But at the same time, it wasn't just about the contract. It was still about being one of the greats and leaving a mark in the game. I see some guys do some special things that weren't superstars. Like a Derek Fisher, Robert Ory, and they were just great in their roles.
And what they do.
Yeah, and just one.
So you didn't let it distract you because you got cut a couple of times.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So you never let it distract
I use it all. Everything that negative came to me, I use as motivation to prove those people wrong or be better. Whether it was a high school coach that cut me, a girlfriend that dumped me. You know, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back better. You gonna
Everything in life,
you gonna want me. You gonna regret this. You know what I'm saying? So teams that passed up on me, it was similar to that. It's like, all right, so you passed up on me. Okay, cool. You must think I'm not good enough, and I'm gonna make you regret that one day.
So winning all those chips, boy, I know you get all the calls you want now.
Some, not from the referees though. I'll tell you that.
So how it feel to, like you said, go through the obstacles and the ups and downs with the Spurs, and then you actually be in that year making that title run to hit 5 threes and do stuff like that in the championship game, not being from the guy, quote unquote.
Yeah, it was amazing. As I said, it didn't really sink in for me until like way later. Also because that year that I did have a great series, we lost. And it was really hard to enjoy or to celebrate. But you're my friend's family. You're in the finals, dude. I don't think you understand. And you might have been finals MVP if y'all won.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, dude, that doesn't matter. We lost. It sucked. You know, I'm still competitive. But after that year, we won it. Still, it didn't sink until later, a couple years later, of how hard it is to achieve that. Because being in San Antonio, we won so much. We were spoiled.
I got a juicy question for
You know,
you,
so
man.
we went to Western Conference Finals a bunch of time, finals a bunch of time, and it took 5 years to get back to the finals. And this one, it made me appreciate it that much more because I know how hard it is to get back and to win one. But yeah, at times I sit back and reflect. Usually when I get on vacation, I've been spoiled. I'm very lucky.
Let me get to this juicy question I got.
Go ahead.
You went from Tim Duncan
Yeah.
to Kawhi Leonard, and you're going to LeBron James right now.
I started out with LeBron.
Exactly.
Year was LeBron.
Exactly.
Then I went to Tim. So I've been lucky, man.
So how do you feel now that you're going to the LA Lakers?
It's good to be also not to be able to play for great coaches alongside great players, but to be wanted by those groups and be a piece they see can help, which is very humbling. So I've been lucky, man. I've been blessed, but you got to prepare for it. And that's one thing that and as much as I try not to reflect until it's over.
Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes I'll sit back on vacation, like, yo, man, I can't believe what I did or what I've done. But that's when you kind of get satisfied and you lose a little bit of hunger. So I try not to let that seep in too much. I'll enjoy it for a little bit, but then it's on to the next thing. We gotta get back to it. We got work to do.
Yeah, because now you carrying the torch for New York City. Me playing in New York is you. Nah, you do it. You and Kimber right now.
Tobias, got a couple guys. Yeah.
Is the most relevant players, in New York that's in the NBA. So when you was going from San Antonio and you got traded to Toronto Raptors, going into that situation, did you think that y'all could be as good as y'all was this year?
I did. I saw the potential. From the jump, we had so many great pieces. I didn't know much about Pascal. And when I saw him play, I'm like, where the hell did he come from? You know what I'm saying? And I don't remember him last year. But he was balling. I'm like, he's good, man. And then I already knew, because we played against Serge so much throughout the past, what he could be. We just had to get him.
To the old Serge, too.
We had to get him there. So
Serge.
mentally, we had to get him there. I played against Kalo throughout my whole career, and I know how much of a bully and how crafty he was. And I said, we had me and Kawhi in the wings, and I felt like since we got day one on the Spurs, we always thought we could be one of the best defensive backcourts in the league. We try to continue that. And as long as we had each other and we knew that and we took that approach, we give ourselves a chance to win. With our front court, with Serge, and then we got Mark. I'm like, and we playing against him. I knew how good, but I always knew we had the pieces. We had some young guys that were athletic. OG, who didn't even get a chance to play for us. We did it without him, which was amazing. But I always knew we had the potential. I just didn't think we had the maturity enough. So throughout the year, I realized also we had new coaching staff, new coaches, first time doing it. We're all learning each other. And throughout the year, we had games that we lost games we had no business losing. It's based on, because we were up, we let teams back in it and just relax, just because of maturity issues. But once I saw we got Mark, and then he helped with Serge and helped everybody else, and Kalo started to become the leader that throughout the year that we knew he could be, and Kawhi obviously his body was getting healthy and getting back to the right position. I knew we had a good shot, but from the beginning I knew from day one we had the talent. I just didn't think we would have the discipline. But eventually we got disciplined and mature enough when everything came together at the right time.
Like, long as you've been on the Spurs, playing in the NBA and just growing up playing basketball, people become like your brothers. So being at Kawhi is like your brother. How tough it was for you to see all the stuff he was going through before he went to Toronto, and then how good did it feel to see the end result in Toronto?
Man, it was tough, man. For anybody, all those guys I consider family, especially I've been playing his whole career. It's tough now to see him be on a different team.
Yeah, exactly.
And knowing I have to play against him, it's like, man, I have to compete against the guy. And he's tough to play against, tough to guard. But we know each other's tendencies. But
because what people don't know, like, what goes on in NBA locker rooms.
and behind the scenes,
fans,
with the bond.
exactly.
And you learn after your first year, you get tight with some guys, but you can't get too tight with guys.
Business.
Because I've seen so many trades, so many cuts happen. I'm like, damn, where the hell did D-Block go?
Yeah,
Where's my guy at, man? He's like, he cut him.
yeah.
And that's it? So y'all don't bring him back? Does he get a chance to say what's up, grab his stuff?
Yeah.
Now he's gone. He's another team. So you learn your first year or two, like, how business goes. But, you know, you're with somebody for that long, and you see him go through, you know, tough stuff with the media. And I know he's very mentally strong, and he doesn't really pay attention to that or have social media.
Yeah.
But it's still, you try to back him as much as you can. But to see him, you know, prevail the way he did, and come back a year later and to a play at the top level. And the people
That's what I mean. It wasn't even like 2 years or 3 years.
I was just so happy for him, man. And he did it for a country. You know, a whole country. It was a special that I'd never experienced before. And a lot of guys that never got a chance to be on that stage, like Kalo, you know, Marcus All. Guys that have been playing in the league for years, not get a chance to win one. Even young guys that have been in the league for 10 plus years, Jeremy Lin and Jody Meeks. Those guys have been in the league for 10 years and never got out of the first round.
And for you, like, San Antonio is kind of similar to North Carolina. So you being in practices, Kawhi, did you see that in him before he got to Toronto?
I mean, I always knew he was I knew he was special. I couldn't say I predicted this when he got to San Antonio first. When he first got there, nobody thought he would become.
Exactly.
He was known as a defensive player.
Exactly. So I mean, but that run that he had 2 years before the injury, the year or two, especially the year before that, I knew he was special. I mean, he could do something. We didn't know how well he would bounce back, but I know he was. His IQ, even though he doesn't talk much, he's a very high IQ guy. He understands the game, and whether he's explosive or not, or uses knee or not, he's gonna get it done. So I knew he could take this team, and you know, me and him together, not just physically, but also teach them, you know, the mentality, the atmosphere, the habits of what it takes to win. You know, and I think that was big in the locker room. Even some of the nights, the days that he might have had off night, or days that I'm not playing well, you have Fred step up, you have Norm step up, you know, Pascal still playing, you know, his game, Kalo step up. So all those pieces, all those little details took a key part into us coming together, our team maturing.
So y'all hung out a lot, you and Kawhi.
We hung out. I mean, we see each other every day, man.
So that's his real laugh?
No.
Does he really laugh like that?
No. It happens sometimes. I mean, people laugh differently.
Just had to ask that.
Taken out of proportion, but you know, he's a regular person.
Yeah, how it feels to, you know, not only, you know, play with superstars, but be the missing piece to superstar teams. Because, you know, me being with Dallas, I know firsthand that people look at you as a championship player that could get a young team or a team
over
that's almost complete over the top.
Yes.
How does it feel to be in the Derek
known as that
Fisher?
player?
Derek Fisher.
I never thought I would be. I never thought I would be
stuff
that
like
guy, man. And I think this year helped me a ton with being that, because of them seeing me go from one organization.
Because the Lakers waited for you, man.
A lot of teams did, man. I've been in a
Don't blush.
position. It's a great position, man. It's very humbling, you know, to have teams want you, you know, to be that piece that they think could put them over or change the organization around. And I said, I think it changed a lot coming from San Antonio to Toronto.
You have a good reputation as a good locker room guy.
Well, everybody in San Antonio has, you know, is good people. But when I was in San Antonio, I was more not the vet. I was more the younger guy. I wasn't the leader. I mean, as Timmy left and then Tony got older, I became more of a leader-ish. But I think it showed more coming to Toronto and having a young group of guys and having to be the guy looked at and they're like, you know, you're the guy in the locker room to keep everything, you know, stabilized. You're the glue guy.
A different atmosphere.
Yeah, not even just on the court, but in the locker room, you're the glue guy. You got to make sure guys on the right page, guys can take criticism, make sure they're doing the right stuff. And, you know, that helped me a lot with the coaches, you know, putting that role on me. So after seeing that and us being able to win and people acknowledging that or showing that, you know, the reason why we won is because this guy's one of the leaders of our team. I think it makes it more enticing for teams. Like, oh, this guy is a winner. He actually can lead or teach younger guys or help younger guys understand, you know, what it takes.
And for young guys that looked up to you, that's like you said, that's not stars, and they're like, I need to make a niche for myself in the NBA and things like that. What advice would you give them to, you know, like you said, try to be a master of something and not jack all trades?
Phil Handy's my guy, and he's
definitely.
And his is, you know, be your own GOAT. So, you know, be the greatest at what you are and what you can be. And of course, everybody thinks you should think you could be the greatest. But eventually, you know, you got to be realistic with yourself and not too delusional. My dad all the time is like, hey, you should expand your game, work on this. I do work on my game, but they're not bringing me here to do this. What's the point? I'm great at what I do. Let me just do what I do. This is what they want me to do. So find whatever it is that you do and that you're good at, and try to be the best at it, and try to be your own GOAT. The greatest in your role, the greatest in your category. And I try to be the best defensive player. That's where I hang my hat night in, night out, to guard the best guy and stop him, and then let offense take care of itself. And if I can shoot, try to be one of the best shooters out there, and winning plays. All those three things I think are a pretty good formula.
You guard some of the toughest guys.
I mean, I try. That's the fun part for me, because I know I'm not getting plays run for me offensively. So I know I'm not getting plays run for me. The only way I can feel like involved all the time,
contributing
is guarding the best guy on the court. And sometimes I may not get recognition for it, but that doesn't matter. As long as we win, I'm cool.
Who was the top two hardest players you had to guard, and what was the difference between them two?
I feel like guys are in different ways are hard to guard. But I feel like I also guard some of the tougher guys to guard pretty well, just because of certain aspects. KD's really tough to guard, but sometimes he's not comfortable when a smaller guard is on him. Something like that. Or Kyrie when a bigger guard is on him. But even though they're very tough to guard, but for me, I think it's a little easier to guard a guy that's handling the ball the most. James Harden's really hard to guard, but I do a pretty good job guarding when he handles the ball the most. Than it is a guy not handling the ball and that's running off screens all damn day. JJ, Kyle Korver, Clay, even Steph sometimes. They're running off 2 or 3 screens, and those screens are 7-foot guys weighing 280 pounds, and they're trying to hit you. Those are the tough guys for me to guard.
Who is the one person you see that you hate to see on the other end? Because we all have that person in our life.
Like, you got a long night. When you go in that arena, man.
Whether it's high school, college, like you was like, man,
it was
every
different
time I
times.
played against him.
Surprisingly, at college, Jared Dudley was one of those guys.
Really?
On my team now. He may not look much now. He was a problem, man. He was good. And in the league, it was different times throughout different years. And I think as of late, like I said, it's always like, all right, JJ, I gotta get on my running shoes. Or Kyle Korver, Clay. But I want to say there's one random guy that maybe not so much this year, but in the past, I was like, man, I hate guarding.
But you know what the crazy thing? Say it's Jared Dudley. We say Jared Dudley, but he's going on his 12th year already in the NBA.
He's a vet, man. He's a super vet. And there's a reason why. But the guy that I always, before this year anyway, was Evan Fournier. And I was just like, it was just weird. It was weird. Because you go into those type of cities, those type of arenas, and you're like, everybody thinks it's an easy win because you're playing Orlando. And I'm like, nah, man. Even DJ Augustin, those guys on those teams, you're playing Utah, like a Ricky Rubio or Alec Burks, somebody like that, and you're like, all right, I know this guy's going to come in here and he's going to be playing really hard and giving us the best, and everybody's going to be kind of slacking a little bit because they think we're going to beat them because they're not that good. But, chasing those guys off screen, guarding pick and rolls are just a real pain in that, especially because, they're trying to win. Like, they're like giving you, and we're trying to win too, but some way, somehow, like, it's a natural habit for humans to, like, not, I guess, be 100, when you're not playing the top teams, to not give everything, like, as if it's like a TNT game against Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? So you go in Orlando on a Tuesday night, and guys are like,
you're gonna be a lot of TNT.
After a back-to-back, and they're like, oh, we're good, man. You guard so-and-so. I'm like, man, I don't feel like guarding this fuck guy, man.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they coming in fresh off a couple of days rest, and you're like, oh, man.
So when you finally, I don't want to say got comfortable, when you finally got that contract, that one contract, what was the craziest thing you bought for yourself? Not family, not nobody else. Just like, okay, I made it, so I need to buy this.
That was probably the first time I actually enjoyed my fruits a little bit. Because I was really cheap, frugal, didn't spend a lot. Obviously, I got the house, but that wasn't really for me. It was for me and my family. But I'm a watch guy, so I like watches. And I bought myself a nice, timepiece. It was pretty expensive at the time.
What kind of watch was it, man? We want to know.
I think it was a Rolex.
Okay.
It wasn't like crazy expensive as the other ones. As the years went on, I got some more expensive ones, but the first one I got was a Rolex. I was like, all right, get myself a Rolex now. And,
That was your first car that you got that you
I'm not a big car guy. I'm not a big car guy. But when I first got into the league, I got a Range Rover. I had a lot of problems with it.
Really?
And then
so
that was back then though. So back in 2008, before the new
fixed it up.
body and everything, it was a
tough.
problem,
It was
man.
definitely tough.
And I went Mercedes, but I don't collect a bunch of cars.
So with people, like you known as a locker room guy, things like that, and me knowing you and becoming friends with you, there's a lot of stuff that you do like in your community and things like that. So where did that come from, and why it's so important for you to give back to your community and help younger players and younger kids?
I can't take credit for my dad, man. He's always been that guy in the community. He's been a teacher. He's started my camps, and I kind of grew that from him and instilled in me from him. And I just had fun with it when I was doing it. I was able to tour Texas. I was able to tour Canada and do it for a bunch of kids, and also do it because the youth is they're the future for us. I want to be able to say I helped that kid or made him become what he is. And I didn't have that when I was growing up. We didn't have the resources in Long Island. We didn't have NBA players come back. But to be able to inspire young kids from our neighborhoods to be able to do better and make it is kind of what the fun part for me is. And so that it came from my dad, but I just had fun with it and I grew a love for it. And every summer we probably do too many camps, but we do a lot of camps, man, and travel all of the world doing camps and it's taken me some strange places, man. I've gone to check out and meet some really cool people just by playing basketball and also doing camps. We're going to Switzerland for free or China or whatever it is, Philippines or doing this. And people are like, oh, come to Sweden, I want you to do a camp here, just random places that they want to bring you. And I just like to travel, so I'm having fun with it.
What's the difference between winning a championship for the San Antonio Spurs and a championship for the Toronto Raptors, because it's a whole country that never won a championship?
It was special, man. And I think they showed it with that parade. The parade was 5.5 hours, 6 hours. We were out there for a while. 3 million people.
Wow.
And 36 million across the country. Not all of them could be there. But San Antonio they always been winning for before I got there, at least 10, 15 years before I got there. So they had 4 championships before I got there. Not saying they were spoiled or anything. But it's just a winning culture. They not used to it, but they've had it before.
They're accustomed to it.
They're accustomed to it. So in Canada, they're not used to it at all. And I think it was just the icing on the cake for us to win it. I think they thought we won it when we made it to the finals, because they never been to the finals. We went to the finals, they were cheering like we won a championship. They didn't care what the result was. It was like, oh, we're in the finals, you're amazing, and everybody was rock stars. Us winning it made it that more, much sweeter and extra, cherry on top. But I don't think they really care. But they're crazy about their basketball and they're crazy about the Raptors, man. And you see it all across the country. So me traveling and doing the tours, I see the kids, the parents staying. Usually they drop the kids off at camp because they babysit. The parents are staying. They're involved in camp more than the kids are. They want to take pictures, autographs. They're buying all types of T-shirts. Can you sign this? So it was really cool to see, man, and be a part of it, and fun to explore throughout Canada and see the love from other parts of Canada.
Me and you are Rock Nation fam, PUMA fam, things like that.
Sir.
And of course, we all grew up on rap music, things like that. How impressive it is to see a person like Jay-Z to where he's at now, because we all grew up on Tupac, Biggie, things like that, and just to see his evolution, in the game and beyond the game.
I think he's and the reason why I think most of us signed to Rock Nation is because of him. Like everybody just always wanted a rock chain growing up, and just be Jay. He's been a big inspiration still to this day, because you know where he came from, what he's been through.
Definitely.
Just a random, kid from Brooklyn, and now he's a billionaire and well-respected people around the world, not just in New York. You go places when you're younger, you play Jay-Z, play some T.I. or something down the South. I'm like, Jay-Z, respect, you don't know who this is. They would put him in the top 5. It's the greatest rapper alive. We've been rapping Jay-Z since we were kids. So to see him do it, man, and continue to do it and strive, it lets you know, for myself especially, why ever be satisfied when you see a guy like that, be able to stay motivated and push himself and try to reach new heights, new goals. It still inspires us athletes to be like, to do better, to be better, to want to make platforms not just for ourselves, but our communities, our people. And I think that's what makes him really a boss. And everybody talks. Bron is a boss too, but to put your people on that level is special, man. I think that's something that we all are trying to do and trying to get there.
And then being a part of PUMA fam and seeing the evolution of PUMA and where it's going, and just being part of a brand that's so like family oriented and things like that.
Man, I mean, for him to take that, for him to take a brand and bring it new life, he pretty much revived it. And now, to me, I see it everywhere. It's one of the top brands that's well known. A lot of guys in the league are like, yo, how those feel? Can I try? How do I get with them? Everybody wants to be a part of it now. It's a new wave, new movement, and Jay is a big part of that success. He's a big reason why they're successful. So for him to be able to do that, it shows you how much power he really has.
And how important it is for you to, when you become, a successful athlete, go to the NBA, your surroundings. Like
Very important, man. Very important. Especially with Rock Nation, PUMA.
That's what I mean.
And my friends, but they take great care of us, man. Rock Nation, especially PUMA, especially, and my people. As you get older, you realize who you can keep around you. And usually, you try to keep the people that are not bringing anything to the table around you. You usually have somebody around you that's working, doing something, bringing something to the table. Not saying they should have to work, but they're offering to do something. They're not just sitting there leeching and trying to just live off of you. But it is very important to make sure that you're living the right lifestyle, building the right habits, because this doesn't last forever. You know, and most guys, if you even make it to 40 playing, which is great, most guys are 33, 35, you're done playing. You still gotta live. You still gotta live like the 50 more years, and to make that last 50 more years, you gotta be real smart with your money or habits. Have good people around you investing, and so you're not taking any losses or taking anything with people stealing from you. So it's really important to have a really good circle.
And lastly, I know you got other things to go. We're in Vegas, but the last question I want to ask you is, how is it going to feel the first night that the Lakers play the Clippers? Not only that the Lakers playing the Clippers in the star power, but you're playing against your brother that you just won a championship with. And 9 times out of 10, you'd probably be guarding him. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to avoid that matchup. I'm gonna have somebody else guard him, man. And but we're gonna end up on each other at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be fun. I'm excited about it. I think he is too. I think just the whole experience in general, just being in LA, playing in front of the people at courtside, the stars, the bright lights, and kind of helping bring that rivalry back to the city. It's been a while since both LA teams have been, on the top or one of the top teams considered a contender. And it started with LeBron, and then obviously now he's starting it over there in LA with the Clippers. So him and Paul George and LeBron, AD, I think they're bringing a lot of special things back to the city, and just being able to play in any of those games, but against him especially, it's going to be fun because they have a great group, and it's going to be hyped up. It's going to be on TV, and I get a chance to first time in both our careers to play against each other on outside of practice. On TV, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, and I just want to thank you for coming on.
Thanks, man. Appreciate y'all having me, man.
You're a true definition of the American dream, because people don't understand, Jay-Z, LeBron, them, that's, a fantasy turned into reality.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
This right here is the American dream, like just making it, things like that. And I hope more players look and see your journey and focus on the small things and, and working hard at those things. So I appreciate you again, my brother, Danny Green.
Yeah, man. Anytime, man, having me on the pod. Much love.
This is Talk to God. Peace, over and out.